Today's stories include a new studio has been established by Guitar Hero veterans, Clair Obscur's director thinks we're too harsh on turn-based RPGs, and Baldur's Gate 3's performance director has thoughts on Hollywood castings. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Blessing, Adeoye Jr. Joining me is the LaCroix Poppy, Tim, Buggin, Yetis.
What a beautiful Wednesday it is. Bless, how are you?
I'm doing well, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Today's one of those big days in Kinda Funny history.
But it's a big day for your physical health. What's the update on this?
It's a step towards progress with the physical health here, because I don't know if y'all heard yesterday, having issues with my heel, my right heel bothering me very, very badly the last couple days. Sharp pain, hurts like a motherfucker with no real inciting incident. And the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, no, nothing happened. You know what I mean?
It wasn't the running.
No, because that was like a week ago.
Yeah.
You know, I highly doubt that would have affected it this much later. Maybe. I'm not a scientist. I'm not sure. But I saw a lot of people out there. There's a lot of podiatrists, doctors of the feet, Bless.
Podiatrists?
Okay? Yes.
I wouldn't have guessed.
They were tweeting at me. They were letting me know, hey, Tim, this is what you should do. And I've been doing all that stuff. People are telling me, ice it. I knew that.
Yeah.
15 minutes a day, 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So I'm on that already. I'm on my 4th rotation.
Yeah.
And rolling it. You take a tennis ball.
Oh, yeah.
Or a water bottle. And you just kind of roll your foot on it.
Oh.
And it's been helping a lot.
Okay.
It's not fun to do.
I was going to say, that sounds
It does kind of hurt
uncomfortable.
a little bit. But anyways, I'm on the road to progress. Let's put it that way. But it hurts. I'm also limping a bit. I feel feeble. I feel like I'm in a bad spot. But shit happens, Bless.
Yeah.
You'll get there. I hope I don't.
I hope I don't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be. I'm like right now, I'm in my active era.
Yeah.
I'm doing things. I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm playing soccer. Somehow I see myself slowly gaining weight, even though I'm doing all these things. And I think that's just a product of like finally being in my 30s.
I mean, that's just what happens. No matter how active you are, like some of my friends, most active people I know, it doesn't help.
Well, this is what I'm slowing down on drinking. Not that I drink a lot, but like in the last probably 6 to 12 months, I had a hangover so bad like a year ago that I was like, I just do not need to do this.
You're like
anymore.
me now, where it's like when we don't drink a lot, we don't drink often, but when we drink, we drink.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I've been doing that less, and I've just not been watching the food I eat. I'm just eating everything.
Oh yeah.
we were close to a Raisin Cane's. So how am I not gonna get 2 Texas toasts?
2 Texas.
And you know what they say about bread? It makes you fat.
That's what they say.
And so really, if I want to fix myself, those are the things that I got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you want to fix Kinda Funny, we're gonna collaborate with a brand new person.
We are. Russ Frushtick, co-founder of Polygon.com, is joining the Kinda Funny team as our partnership business head. He is not a full-time employee. He's not the 12th member of the team, but he is fully a part of Kinda Funny through a partnership between us and him, where he's going to be kind of heading up our business development side. Greg and I have been doing it for 10 years now and doing our best. And I feel like we've done an okay job, but having somebody dedicated to it that actually understands what we do and the industry at large is going to be so beneficial for our company and for us as individuals and as a group. And I'm incredibly excited about it. So yeah, this shouldn't affect the audience in any real way, except for hopefully allowing us to do more cool stuff. There's already a lot of cool things in the works, and Russ is just the best, man. You might know him from the Besties podcast, which is awesome. All of his work at Polygon the last forever, over a decade. Great dude. He came through the studio about a couple weeks ago. What was your experience?
I mean, Russ is awesome. Yeah, I've known him from Polygon and from the Besties. And so to have him sitting in the office for a couple of days was one of those ones where it's so funny the role that he's like collaborating with us on, because this is not how I know him. I know him as a podcaster. I know him as a content creator. And so I'm like, oh man, that's Russ Frushtick that I know from Polygon. And he's doing business stuff with us, which is really cool.
Yes.
My request for Russ, I want a Russ Quest. I want an exclusive Game Showdown sponsor, and I want it to be the most ridiculous sponsor you can find. All right, for the new season.
Okay.
Whatever the most, I want Chuck E. Cheese. You know what I mean? I want like the most random sponsor for Game Showdown for the next season. That's my request for you.
Okay. I don't think it works exactly that way, but I like where your head's at.
What about, like,
and now
John
with Russ,
Deere?
anything's
Russ,
possible.
sponsor my desk at work.
Ramirez Art Jam is asking, will he be an in-office personality or off-site? He is in New York. He will stay in New York. The plan is not to have him on content. He is very much a behind-the-scenes business development type of guy. However, he's incredibly talented and incredibly cool, and we like him a lot.
Yeah.
So we're not saying he won't be on things, but like that is not at all the vision or plan for how we are partnering and how we're working together. Me and Greg did a Gregway, getting into a bit more details, but kind of just saying what I'm saying right now in more words. Like, it is a very exciting opportunity. A lot of ideals and hopes and dreams come from this, like Greg and I being able to be on more game streams and do more on camera stuff as opposed to having to do all the phone calls. I don't really think that's going to change that much. I think this is just going to be a additive thing, but hey, this is good. I see no negatives from this. And I think that y'all watching and listening will hopefully start to see the benefits of this over time as well, because I do think this is going to allow us to do a lot of much bigger, cooler things than we've been doing, even if it's just doing the same things we're doing.
Yeah.
But being able to do it in ways that are more comfortable for us. And I have some stuff I'm biting my tongue on saying right now.
Lifting some weight off of Greg and Tim's shoulders.
Yes, which should be fun.
Even though you guys will probably take on more weight. Just
how
because
it
you're
goes.
like, oh man, what if we did this to you?
But that's what Kind of Funny is all about. Adapting, changing, growing, and being the little turtle in its little cage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Not what's the cage? What's the aquarium? What's the glass around a turtle called that he needs to outgrow? You know what I mean? You can only grow as big as the thing you're in.
Are
Somebody
you not
fucking
talking about
help
the shell?
me. No, you put the turtle
Terrarium.
Yes, you put a turtle in a
Thank you,
terrarium. If the terrarium's not that big, it only grows that big. Bless.
Yeah.
We're in a
Wait,
big
how
terrarium.
big is this? Okay.
Yeah.
What, like, are people putting turtles in very small
In like a fish
terrariums?
tank, like a little fish tank at home.
And then the turtle will just like grow
can
to
only
the
grow that
size
big.
of that. Okay.
Glass ceiling.
I just figure like you would put a turtle in like a bigger thing, you know?
Ideally, yes.
Yeah.
Because it seems claustrophobic to put a turtle in something that's gonna like hit the walls up.
That's the whole problem.
Shout out to, I won't say which family member, but a family member of mine had a couple of turtles, and they lived in Ohio, and their terrarium was outside, and it was wintertime, and they accidentally froze the turtles to death.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wait, but like if you freeze a turtle, I swear to God, I just saw a video on this of like people unfreezing a turtle.
Oh yeah,
But you have to like unfreeze it slowly, but it was kind of like a hibernation situation.
Oh shit.
But maybe your situation was
I
probably
don't
way
think
different.
they realized that. Maybe I don't know.
Oh
man.
no.
Like I think you could have rescued that turtle.
Me personally?
Well, not you personally, but
Okay.
like the people in the situation.
My goldfish died when I was little, and I was very sad. And I was on my way to kindergarten, and we had to flush it down the toilet, and we put it in the toilet. And I was like, "Mom, can I pee on it before it goes?" Like,
Oh my
just as a
God.
goodbye. And she's like, "You're fucking weird, but sure." Came back to life.
No,
Fuck.
no,
It's just
I-
like the Superman tier from
I got
Superman
that power.
Returns.
that's crazy. When I was a kid, I had a dog named Prince. My mom got it without telling my dad or telling any of us. So I came home and I was like, "Oh, I got a puppy." And then 2 weeks later, my dad took that puppy without telling any of us and just gave it out, gave it away, took it to the shelter, took it somewhere,
Yeah.
took it to the place he's supposed to take it to. He
Dang.
didn't just like fucking kick it to the street. But like I came home one day and I just didn't have a dog anymore, and I was like, "What happened?" And everybody was like, your dad fucking hated that dog." Like my mom got that dog without permission, and my dad fucking hated it for 2 weeks. And he hit his limit. He was like, "No more dog."
Wow.
And so we all have pet stories.
We all have pet stories, everybody.
Remember, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, and now Spotify and Apple Podcasts to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be a part of the show, some of your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. Housekeeping for you. We're an 11-person business all about live talk shows. So today, after KFGD, you're going to get Gamescast, which is a check-in with Rogstradamus, and our Fantasy Critic drama explained.
Oh God. Can't wait for this bullshit.
Yeah, I want to see what Roger has to say.
What's he have to
Because thank
say?
God Mike is sick. Because he doesn't have the charisma of Mike to back up whatever BS he has to bring to the table.
I was driving into work and I was thinking about that. I was just like thinking, okay, we're about to do this Gamescast. I don't know what Roger has planned. I don't know what. And I'm
Yeah.
hosting the show. He's prepping me a doc that I'm just going to have to go off of. All right. And then obviously I trust Roger.
Yeah.
But Roger and Mike, it's not about
No,
trust.
no.
It's about question marks.
Yes.
You just don't know what's going on. I'm scared to ask, and whenever I do ask, I don't feel I'm getting honest answers.
They're like Noob and Smoke from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of share a brain. I don't think that's how that works narratively, but we'll stick
But
with
in our
it.
mind, I get it.
In our
Yes.
mind, yeah, it's like they're one being, but just they're also two nefarious individuals that you cannot trust.
Yeah, it's about not trusting them, and that's why I denied their, the full trade thing, because it was sold to me as a fair and legal trade. And when those words are used from those two, I'm like,
It's crazy.
You're up to something, and I don't trust it.
It's crazy how good of a salesperson Mike is until he needs to sell something. You know, like
that was Roger who said fair and legal, and I was like, I don't know about that. Mike was trying to butter me up, like I was in Denver with family. He was like, I'm sorry to take I'm sorry to take time away from you and all this stuff. And then I hear Roger on the far end of this phone call and say, it's a fair and legal trade. I'm like, I don't know about that.
It was the most just guilty phone call I've ever heard in my life. And it's like, you just need to get this guy to say it. You just need to say, hey, Blessing started the league with trades turned off. We want to turn it on. Can we get your approval? That's all you need to do.
They'll explain it in the
And they messed it
Gamescast.
up.
I'm sure it's all going to make total sense, and everyone's going to be happy, and no one's going to get heated whatsoever.
And then after Gamescast is Joey playing Fields of Mistria and Nick playing The Altars. If you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Gregway is from Greg and Tim about how we're working with Russ Frushtick, and it's up for everyone. If you want all the nitty-gritty details, it is a 11 to 12-minute video that is up on YouTube right now.
Yeah, we wanted to make this one public because we felt like it was kind of important information for people that might have questions, but also it's very specific to the Kind of Funny nerds.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The people that care about the real behind the scenes shit.
Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney the Psalm Twining. Today we're brought to you by Kind of Funny in Review, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 5 stories today.
A baker's dozen.
Starting with our number 1. Guitar Hero veterans form a rhythm game development studio, RedOctane Games. This is Tom Ivan at VGC. Veterans of the rhythm game genre have established a new development studio called RedOctane Games. According to today's announcement, the small studio plays home to, quote, creators and developers who helped create and scale Guitar Hero and DJ Hero nearly 2 decades ago, as well as proven emerging development talent and community leaders from across today's rhythm gaming space, end quote. RedOctane is currently developing a range of rhythm-based experiences, with its first title scheduled to be revealed later this year. It described itself as a company within Embracer Group's Free Mode, which offers support and guidance to independently operated businesses. The studio is headed up by Simon Ebinger, who was production director on several Guitar Hero titles at Neversoft and later served as studio head at Vicarious Visions and VP of operations at Blizzard. RedOctane was the publisher of the original Guitar Hero on the PS2, or in the PS2 version of Guitar Hero 2. Before becoming an Activision subsidiary when the Call of Duty maker acquired the franchise for $100 million. Activision closed RedOctane, which was co-founded by Kai Wong and Charles Wong in 2010. The Wong brothers are to join a special advisory board for the new RedOctane. Back from the ashes.
Very interesting. Yeah, man. I remember the RedOctane logo on all the Guitar Hero boxes and them being responsible for all the peripherals out there and the many various forms and shapes the guitars took over the years. And them talking about the team being kind of Vicarious Visions and Neversoft people. Like the Neversoft era of Guitar Hero is my favorite era. Like 1 and 2, obviously classics. 1 was like proof of concept game almost. 2 was really where it was like kicking it up a notch. Like everyone is in love with Guitar Hero and for good reason. But I feel like 3, which was Neversoft on, is where they really were like, all right, cool, let's hone in on this being a video game. While Harmonix went off and did Rock Band and kind of, turned the Guitar Hero brand into a even more massively mainstream living room event Rock Band, So yeah, this is exciting to me, but I also have a lot of concerns that it's going to be one of those mimic situations that feels like, okay, you're bringing back Guitar Hero, but it's not Guitar Hero, so it has to be different enough. And if it's different enough, it's not the thing anymore.
Yes. It's in the same way that Fortnite has their version of Rock Band / Guitar Hero. Fortnite Festival, yes. And I booted up into Fortnite a few weeks ago just to like mess around and see what the kids are up to nowadays. You know what I mean? It's like what's hot in the streets. And what's hot in the streets, let me tell you, Lego is doing its thing.
Oh yeah,
and then base Fortnite
always doing its thing.
And then there was like that mode that they added to Fortnite that like caught fire like about a month or so ago. Really, that's why I did log in. But out of curiosity, I went over to Fortnite Festival just to see like what the deal was, what it looks like these days. And like, there's something that's lacking. There's something that's missing. And maybe it's time has passed and Guitar Hero and Rock Band are of an era. Maybe it is tough to make something that is the same but different, right? Trying to capture the energy and spirit of Guitar Hero might just be too tough when you're not Guitar Hero. I think there's also a very strong thing to be said about how much Guitar Hero and Rock Band are made by having the actual peripherals in hand.
Oh, absolutely.
And how much of that part of the era can you bring back?
Yeah.
They have their trailer. They did a studio launch trailer that Bear's been playing, right? And in the trailer, it's like 42 seconds long. They have like references to like the peripherals and the guitar controllers and all this shit, right? And there's an extended part of it where they say rhythm gaming is making a comeback, which feels like such a strong statement to make. And I don't think I believe it.
No, I don't believe it either. I mean, I don't believe it because it didn't go anywhere. Well, it did from where it was, 15 years ago. Yeah. But in the last 10 years, it's been steady. There's been rhythm releases left and right in the indie scene, but even in like more just like not AAA games, but like A games coming out. Like there's a ton of rhythm games coming out that are getting great reviews, and there's a huge audience for them, but the audience is not everyone. Like it is a niche genre at the end of the day that I think is well fed. And the biggest thing is it's a genre that is, if you hit a point of being interested in it as like I'm hardcore into these things, the mod scene is where it's at. You're going to end up getting some type of Step Mania instead of DDR, Clone Hero instead of Guitar Hero. Like people have found ways to continue the thrill and excitement of that gameplay style from back in the day that are the ones that take it the most seriously. So trying to bring back peripheral based rhythm games in a mainstream fashion, I think is a fool's errand. Having said that, I don't blame them for saying that that's their goal if hopefully internally their actual like metrics for success are significantly lower than how they're presenting. Because act like you're coming back and going to be the biggest things ever, because that's the only way to get people excited and to not just be a niche thing, but like to really kind of remind people, hey, you had a lot of fun doing this back in the day. You could do it again. But they need to be realistic or else it's not going to work. I feel like that's not rocket science.
Yeah, I think you make a good point there as far as like rhythm game hasn't gone anywhere, right? It might be out of the mainstream as far as what Guitar Hero was in like 2006, 2007, and all that shit, right? But when I think of rhythm games nowadays, I think of like the variety of stuff that we do get in the indie scene. Whether we're talking about a Hi-Fi Rush, right, which is actually not an indie thing, right? That's more of a AA thing. But whether you have a Hi-Fi Rush or a Rift of the Necrodancer that just came out earlier this year, right, or even you go to arcade still and you have DDR and all that stuff, and that leads me to the question of where do you
have Guitar Hero in arcades?
You have Guitar Hero in arcades. Where do you see them taking this? Because like if I'm thinking of the viable ways to do it, my first mind goes to arcades. I think there is a space for that. Now, if Guitar Hero is already in arcades, it's hard to break in with a Guitar Hero clone, because then why not just do proper Guitar Hero? But I find it tough to imagine what the business strategy is here in like a larger way.
I think that a lot of it has to involve understanding that Fortnite exists and Fortnite Festival exists, and having their peripherals be compatible with that, and market that as a huge feature. So have their own IP, their own game, and their own ecosystem of, hey, the reason we have these guitars or whatever instruments they make, but guitar specifically, this is why you're investing in this, and here's a game that's going to be fun that you're going to want to play. But also, if you want the Fortnite experience, you got that too, because Fortnite has already an incredible library of songs. Their transaction process isn't the best. Because similar to you, I've popped into Festival a couple times over the last year just to see where we're at, and like it just gets so frustrating as somebody that's not at all in the Fortnite system. I get so overwhelmed and confused looking at all this stuff, and then once I dig a little deeper to be like, okay, cool, but how do I actually get the songs? I get pissed off, man. I just get so upset. So that's how I think that they find some type of like baseline of consumers that has at least any type of viability of being a successful product. But I do think this is going to be an uphill battle. I'm excited for it. I don't want to come off as negative on this because I do love these games, but I also didn't love Guitar Hero Live when it came out in 2015 or whatever it was. Because to me, that was, hey, it's Guitar Hero, but we're making it different. And it's like, we don't want that. We just want Guitar Hero. But who's the we and how big is that? For the we want Guitar Hero, I don't know if it's big enough to blow everything out of the water. But if they're realistic, it could work.
I want to bring in a super chat from Jake Kaminsky, who writes in and says, it doesn't matter what form we get a guitar peripheral game, there always needs to be one. It's been a while since Rock Band 4, and we need a successor. Excited for the new team member, guys. Oh, thank you. And yeah, like, I mean, there's the person that's hungry for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with you that I don't know if there's a grand hunger to bring back Guitar Hero, but I do think that it's tough, right? Because you don't have, assumably, they don't have the IP of Guitar Hero and stuff, right? So I almost feel like if you even want to try, you need that. Like, you need that Guitar Hero IP because that's what people remember. That or Rock Band, right? They remember that in their living rooms. There is a mainstream, at least to knowledge, of what that is. That said, like, if they're trying to veer and do something different, a game I really liked that came and went that I would love to see somebody give another shot at is Fuser. Fuser came out in like the early pandemic, might have been 2020 or maybe 2021.
2021, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I played quite a bit of Fuser, and that shit rocked, but it was also kind of weird.
Yeah.
It was a DJ game where you could like mix infuse songs together based off of like, I'm going to take the lyrics of this Busta Rhymes song and combine it with the melody of this Katy Perry song and add in the drums of this Weeknd song. And like, you're trying to fulfill the requests of the audience and get people hyped and all this shit. And they also had freestyle modes. They had ways to like save your sets and all this stuff. And that shit was so fucking good. But also I think it's hard to sell and it's hard to execute. I think one, because of the licensing and what that does for like streaming and stuff. Where now actually Twitch does have a DJ category, which probably could help with that a little bit as far as like content creators and like having them take that stuff and go above and beyond with it. But I think even for VOD, that gets really tough.
Yeah.
But on the content creator side, I feel like you would have to give them something that they could take and help drive forward. And that's just tough because of licensing and copyright claims and all that shit. But then also I just don't think the mainstream public got it or understood it. I think it's just a hard thing to sell when you're talking about like the creative side of making a rhythm game versus I just want to play a guitar. Like I just want to play something that's rhythmic to a song that I know.
Yeah. And I mean, it's important to at least note people don't want a bunch of plastic shit in their house. And that's why we got out of this in the first place.
100%. Samson L says, now that I'm an adult with money, I will pay for a full band kit for parties. Kanashi Karaito also wrote in and says Fuser also exists in effing best way to mash up tracks.
Fuser also exists in Fortnite? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know.
Does it exist in Fortnite?
See, I read it as like it's the effing best way. But if they're saying it exists in Fortnite, I don't know. I don't remember Fuser being a Fortnite thing. But
Lanky Dragoon saying yes.
Saying yes. Well, that's fucking awesome. I need to go back in Fortnite and check that out. Somebody says DJ Hero is a thing too. I mean, I love DJ Hero as well.
I love DJ Hero.
But like, it just
wasn't that good.
It was just a weird thing. But it had good ideas.
It had good ideas for sure.
Like mixing, what was it? Was it H to the Izzo?
It was Jay-Z and Eminem, right?
Yes.
Like they were the two. God damn, what a time.
Bring that shit back. Tim, we're going to move on to story number 2. But before we do, I want to tell you about patreon.com/kindafunny and youtube.com/kindafunnygames, where you can go and get the Kinda Funny membership, which allows you to get shows ad-free. And speaking of ads, let us tell you about our sponsors.
This episode's brought to you by our own show, Kinda Funny in Review. It is our movie review show, and it is the best place to get all of our thoughts on all the latest in entertainment. Greg, and how has it been this year?
It's been awesome because I came back. Alien vs. Predator in review. Superman in review. Fantastic Four currently happening in review. It's been a great time, and I've been crazier than ever.
You really have. It's been banger after banger after banger of episodes of In Review. Doesn't mean the movies necessarily were.
Oh, they often
Sometimes we're talking about some all-time greats. Sometimes we're talking about some of the worst movies ever made. But no matter what, Greg is drinking his Cokes and having a good time and saying some of the craziest things you've said on Kind of Funny content ever.
That's right. If you're unfamiliar, of course, In Review is us picking a movie series, watching them all, then ranking and reviewing them all while meticulously recapping the plot and not screwing anything up.
But here's the thing. I know a lot of you are watching live probably on Kind of Funny Games Daily or Kind of Funny Gamescast. We cover video games, but we also cover movies, and we have a great time doing it. We're just best friends hanging out. So don't worry. We're getting back to Alien vs. Predator, everybody, right after we get through some of the big summer movies, but Fantastic Four, Superman, Alien vs. Predator. It's been a great time. The good times are just starting.
That's right. So right now, like, subscribe, share on your favorite podcast feed or youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, and we'll see you at the movies.
That was good.
Thank you. I mean, we stole it. It's, I think Siskel and Eber's line.
Tim, I need you to know, in the way that when you were that Guitar Hero kid that could play songs in the highest difficulties, what was that one song that everybody always is like, that this is the one, this is the hardest song in the game?
Through the Fire and the Flames.
Through the Fire and the Flames. Yeah, like that I feel like brought you to a certain level of like popularity and coolness back in the day.
No.
No, not really.
I did it though.
Oh damn. Well, what I
got respect from your friends though.
You got
who are
respect
also
in like
nerds.
your immediate circle.
Real quick, I do want to say it did not. All right.
No?
Obviously, it did. I mean, yes and no, but more so no. But what I will say is I just finished The Bear season 4 last night.
Yeah.
Incredible season of the show. Love the show overall, but goddamn, what a season.
Great season.
There's a shot of them in the Chicago theater. Iconic venue in Chicago.
Yeah.
Right. And as I'm looking at it, I was like, they were like backstage somewhere. And I was like, I've been there. I've been backstage there. And like seeing that room, like, this is crazy that like, that's a place I've been. And I was thinking, I was like, when was I there? I was like, it was Let's Play Live 2018, I want to say. Sold out, which means 4,000 people, I think.
Yeah.
And I was on stage playing Rock Band, playing on a guitar, okay?
That's
fucking
awesome.
crushing it on Expert.
See, that's coolness.
And I'm just like,
That's cool.
what is life? That is a real thing that happened. A sold out Chicago theater. My dumbass playing fucking Guitar Hero.
So we've looped around to the point I was making. That shit was fucking cool. Exactly. Right? That gave Tim Geddes aura, as
it
the
did.
kids say.
It fucking did.
He had so much aura. Now, if we lived in the parallel timeline where DJ Hero was the game that could get you that aura, I'd be a different person right now. Yeah. Because I was playing those DJ Hero songs in Expert.
Oh, I'm sure you were.
I was not doing that shit on Guitar Hero.
Yeah, but so were the kids at the arcades back in the day playing all the different Bomani games, like there was all the Beatmania stuff. And then there's that one with the pink and blue lights. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You're just kind of you're going like this, looking like a fucking idiot.
Oh.
I look so stupid. I
remember going to, when I went to U of I, in the basement of the Union, they had like an arcade, bowling, arcade games, and pool. And me and my friends would go all the time to play pool. And I remember it so vividly. Every single time we were playing pool, just like the sound of people playing DDR, and they're holding the bar.
Oh,
like
they
this.
have to hold the bar.
Like they're holding the bar and they're leaning back and their legs are just like fucking going.
Man. Thing of beauty.
That shit is crazy.
Thing of beauty.
Amazing stuff. Let's move on to story number 2. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 director says turn-based RPGs are selling better lately, but the prejudice is still there. I'm pulling from Automaton West. During this year's CEDEC, what did I say, CEDEC? In Japan, Automaton had the opportunity to chat with Clair Obscur Expedition 33 creative director Guillaume Broche and lead programmer Tom Guillermin. Apart from discussing their future plans for the studio and views on other AA developers, we asked the two developers how they felt about creating a turn-based RPG in a market dominated by action games. While many titles in the genre have performed well commercially, Broche feels that there is still prejudice revolving around turn-based JRPGs. Quote, I could talk about the prejudice forever, he laughs. Personally speaking, I think Japanese turn-based RPGs were super popular up until the 360 era. But around the time open-world games started getting more popular through gaming media, JRPGs started being considered uncool. Broche goes on to mention the Persona series as one of the more successful examples of the genre, but suggests that JRPGs still have a long way to go in order to return to their original popularity. Quote, while they do still sell a large number of copies, with the Persona series as a prime example, I feel like the prejudice against turn-based RPGs isn't completely gone, end quote. Despite his concerns, Broch emphasizes that the deviations from the genre's mechanics, like real-time dodging and parrying and Clair Obscur, weren't attempts at presenting the game as the cool turn-based RPG. Quote, it's not like we added the parry system and built such a narrative experience because we wanted to avoid our game facing prejudice. We just did it because we wanted to do it. End quote. Tim, what are your thoughts about the prejudice against turn-based RPGs?
I mean, I think that the laugh in your voice kind of leads me to where I think of this of like, I don't know that the word prejudice should be used here. Like,
yeah,
it's just a bit much, and I understand.
I think it's like a language thing. You know,
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that it probably doesn't come off. It's probably not meant the way that it comes off to me.
Yeah, and to be fair, again, like even in the quote, right? There's the part where they say laughs. Like there's one other part where they added like he's saying all this laughing, like he's saying all this with a humorous tone.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah.
Also, Barrett, I need you to bring up some more pictures of Greg Miller. Both Greg Miller and Andy Cortez are on the trial.
Well,
They're on the
Greg
list.
Miller plays Pokemon now.
Oh yeah, that solves
but
everything.
He had
He
had the whole episode talking about like.
I know, I'm aware. It happened while I was not here, but I'm aware. I'm aware.
I am aware.
And I am not happy, but I am aware.
Fair enough.
Look, words aside of the prejudice thing, I feel like it's not so much the intent of the prejudice there. It's more like the genres just aren't as popular as they used to be relatively to how popular video games are.
Yes.
I feel like video games are just so much bigger than they were in the pre-Xbox 360 era, and I think a lot of what made them big is the accessibility of like mobile / Wii type games, also Call of Duty type multiplayer shooter type games, the explosion of online sports games, right? Like video games are just so much bigger than they used to be with so many more players that I don't think that that JRPGs are and turn-based games are less popular. They're just less important. Like they're in terms of the pie chart of what video games as a whole are. Whereas back in the 90s, it was platformers and RPGs.
Yes.
Right? And it's just like I don't think that it's less than it was. It's just there's a lot more, right?
Yeah, more genres have come through. Like there's a variety now. And yeah, I think action games definitely came through and have now dominated what we consider as far as like mainstream. When we think about game of the year, usually you're thinking of an action thing or like something that's more real time. And yeah, I agree with you as far as that, right? Like the JRPGs and even platformers were a bigger piece of the pie back then. Yeah, I don't know. I'm fascinated with this just from the idea of when I think of turn-based, right? And I think I had to take a JRPG out of it a little bit because the first game that comes to mind is Baldur's Gate for me, which is a similar kind of turn-based thing. And that was one of the most popular games that came out that year. Persona and Metaphor, when those come out, those are the biggest games that come out that year. And I think it's what it is. You know, I'll take it to Final Fantasy when a turn-based Final Fantasy comes out. It's also the biggest thing. I think it is how you wrap a turn-based RPG, right? What are the mechanics around it? I think there's a lot of turn-based things that like lean heavily on the turn-based part of it as being like the core gameplay mechanic, and then like you just have dialogue and you have other things, right? But I think turn-based games, and I think this is what Clair Obscur does really well, right? Like the systems surrounding the turn-based part of it have to engage people as well. And I think that's where a lot of games fall short. And I think that's why we see games like Persona really rise up, because you have that dungeon crawling, you have that turn-based combat, but then also you have a whole other side of Persona that is your daily social sim and talking to characters and leveling up your social links and doing all these things. Same thing with Metaphor. Baldur's Gate has an open world, an open-ish world, right, that you're exploring and talking to characters and building these things like a Western RPG, right? Like, I don't know. I think there's more to be said about the ways in which turn-based RPGs can kind of like fill in those elements outside of the turn-based combat that allow you to kind of exceed, or I guess exist out of just like the turn-based RPG thing.
I just think there's not a problem. People can not like turn-based games.
Oh,
People
sure.
can like turn-based games, and like everyone is being well fed. Like there's a ton of amazing turn-based games, ton of amazing games that do not have anything close to turn-based gameplay. Fine, cool. Like I don't know that I really even feel like that there's a large enough amount of people with the bias against turn-based games for it to be like a negative for anybody. It's like, all right, cool. You're not going to win them over. That's fine.
Yeah, it's in the same way that like it's really hard to sell Souls likes to a certain amount of people, right? And like, I don't know. It's a interesting thing. Barrett's bringing up many pictures of Andy Cortez, and like, I would look at Andy, and I would look at. I mean, Greg plays Pokemon, right? Greg's the biggest Pokemon fan here, so he's exempt from this conversation. But I bet you, I could sit down with Andy and find a turn-based game he likes.
Oh yeah.
You like Clair Obscur, no?
Oh yeah, there you go.
But he also played like I'm just giving him shit just because he does the bit of talking so much shit about turn-based.
I feel like, but I'm saying this to say that I think even the people that say they don't like turn-based games,
there's one out there.
I bet you there's some out there.
That's true, but I think Eddie's actually a really good example of the point that I think we're both making, which is that he doesn't like turn-based games. He might like some of them, but he does not. That is not something that makes him like it more. That is not something that draws him to it. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that he is unwilling and unable to enjoy some of them if other factors are good enough to kind of make it worth it. But then there's some cases where it's like, even if the other things are good enough, you still don't like it because you're like, well, the core gameplay of this is not something I want to engage with. And that's fair too. Yeah. Like, that's the beauty of where we're at with games, where there's so many of every varying quality level. And I feel like specifically in the RPG space, there's nobody's being left out. Everybody's getting a lot of content.
Let's move on to story number 3. Baldur's Gate 3 performance director says Hollywood is missing a trick, not casting more game actors. This is Tom Ivan at Video Games Chronicle. Baldur's Gate 3 performance director and star Aliona Baranova thinks film and TV executives are missing a trick by not casting more video game actors. Speaking to Collider, Baranova claimed the screen industry continues to treat game actors as niche performers, despite many of them having professional training and dedicated fan bases. Quote, "We are also theater trained," said the London-based actor. "A lot of us are formally trained in the UK, and I think that's something that maybe execs are a bit short-sighted about. They think they just know how to do a video game. Studios are neglecting the video game audience who are so willing to support and so dedicated and passionate about their favorite video game actors," Baranova added. "And I think it's a shame that that's being overlooked. It's being slept on," end quote. Baranova's credits also include Cyberpunk 2077, Clair Obscur, and Lives of P, as well as the TV series Maternal and Moonflower Murders. She said casting executives should take note of successful examples of game actors appearing in adaptations on the rare occasions they're given the chance to do so. Quote, "How well did it go when actors from The Last of Us from the game were also in the TV show?" Baranova asked. Ashley Johnson was the #1 most looked up person on IMDb when the TV project came out. Why is more of that not happening? Why was Doug Cockle not in the TV series The Witcher? Why are we not being considered when there's video game adaptations? End quote. Tim, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's going to happen more and more. We see waves of this in the way adaptations happen, right? Why is it taking so long to see Wolverine in a goddamn yellow and blue suit? There's just this unwillingness to do the thing the first time. I think that trend is going to change over time, though. I think that I imagine we're not going to have to wait 20 years to get to a point that the actors from games are going to be the actors in the adaptations. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that actors in games are getting more actual press and screen time and just face time, honestly, in terms of people understanding who they are. Hollywood Reporter reporting on games being cast, right? Like, I imagine Ben Starr is going to be in some major adaptation at some point in the next 5 years of something.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to start to happen a lot more. But I also just think that we are still, all things considered, in the infancy of game adaptations. And for all intents and purposes, there aren't that many games with actors in them overall. Sure, there's 150 of them or something like that. That's still nothing in the grand scheme of things, of like comparing to like books, of how many books are out there, right? How many things they can even like pull from. So I do think that we'll start seeing this more. And I think that with the rise of the D&D scene, right, of just all of Critical Role and how, the majority of them are video game actors. And at this point, they are so much more than any one thing. You can't call them one thing because they're just celebrities, and all the dropout stuff, Dimension 20. Like, I do think that they're going to be seen as a very lucrative names to attach to projects in the same way that Scarlett Johansson is a movie star, and you want to attach her name to Asian characters.
Jesus Christ. Here's my thing, right? I got to play Dead Take on stream last week. Y'all should go check out that stream. It was a really good stream. It was me and Bear. We played the full game.
We were
Dead
locked
Take.
in, man.
We were locked the fuck in. Also, what Tim just said is the funniest thing I've ever heard
Funniest thing.
I was super serious on everything I said up until the very last bit.
But we streamed Dead Take, and I would have had this opinion before Dead Take anyway. But like, Dead Take is a game. It's from Abu from Surgeon Studios. They put out Tales of Kinzera Zao.
But we're having on Gamescast on Thursday.
Yes, that's
you and
tomorrow.
Bless oh, damn, it's tomorrow. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to Abu about the game. It's going to be a fun time, which is another reason you should go watch the stream or play Dead Take and come hang out with us. Or don't play Dead Take and hang out with us. I don't think we're going to spoil it.
Go play it, though.
Go
You
play
should
it.
Play it. That's the whole point.
But like, it is a game that is filled with actors that we know around the industry, both from Critical Role, video games. A lot of Pierce is in it, right? Sam Lake
is in it. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's filled with people, right? And it's a lot of FMV. Like a majority of their performances are either in like voiceover or in FMV form. And to see these actors perform, like they're fucking killing it on the FMV side, right? It's one of those things where it's like, well, yes, video games have reached a point where your performances, the type of performances you're putting into video games are matching the amount of devotion and the amount of performance you need to put it into live action stuff as well. And I think there are a few things that go along with this. I think one, the growth of video games and cinematic video games have accelerated so much in a way where a lot of people just need to catch up. A lot of people might not know. This goes back to the thing Andy has talked about, right? And that I've seen as well, where I'm scrolling through TikTok or whatever, and there'll be a TikTok that pops up, and this is like during Last of Us Season 2, where they're like, so how does this game work? Like, how do you like, are you making decisions? Like, how does I don't play video games. Like, how does this work?
Did you watch that journey? There's specifically this one woman that was just like, I don't what do you mean it's the game? I watch people play games. How are they gonna make what story? What are you talking about? And then she streamed her entire playthrough of Last of Us.
That's fucking awesome. I missed that part.
Yeah.
But yes,
she got there, man. She's a gamer now.
And I saw that from quite a few people. And like, if I were to go and ask people in my family, or if I ask people like just on the street, right? Like people who might not know video games, what's up with the street?
I just the idea of you walking out just on the street, just asking people whatever you're about
what
to
a
say.
video game is.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people might just not understand what video games are bringing to the table nowadays, which, you know, I think there might be a disconnect there as far as, oh man, yeah, no, fucking homie who plays Kratos is putting together one of the best performances you might ask for across movies, TV, video games. But there is a lot of the world that just doesn't realize that. I think that's one aspect of it. I think another aspect of it too, and this is again to the acceleration of video games. One of the things that Baronova added here was talking about Doug Cockle, who plays Geralt in The Witcher 3. Like, why wasn't he in the show? Well, I think video games have gotten so popular that when you adapt them now, you have to go, we want Henry Cavill. We want who's homie that's replacing Henry Cavill in The Witcher 3?
Hemsworth.
We want Hemsworth in it, right? Like, when you're looking at video game adaptations, for Last of Us, for example, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to cast Troy Baker. I'm going to cast fucking Pedro Pascal. Yep. Like, these roles are now not being taken, right? Because I don't think it's a super negative thing, but people are looking for a top Hollywood talent to portray the popular video game characters that have actors associated with them already, because they're looking for people that people are already familiar with from Hollywood to like portray these actors or whatever.
It's another way to like sell it to a more general audience, because even though like the popularity of The Witcher, not just the video game, but the IP, right, or The Last of Us, there's still probably a good section of people who have never interacted with that. But then when to attach someone who is a name, right, that's another entry point to draw new people in, right, and so yeah, I also think Chad was also bringing up the point of like, you know, sometimes it's literally just like, if you're going to adapt The Last of Us, you can't cast Ashley Johnson as Ellie.
Yes. Yeah.
She's not a 14-year-old child.
And I love Troy Baker also, but I also wouldn't cast Troy Baker as a live action Joel necessarily. Yeah. Although I'd have to see the makeup.
Bender Sen says Keanu Reeves is Shadow. I don't know what he's referring to, or like, but
I mean, that's to the point as well. You know, like we got to get top fucking talent.
But what I
to
love
play
about
those
that is,
iconic
but
characters.
they got Colleen O'Shaughnessy to be Tails, who is the Tails voice
Yes.
actor. Like that's cool, you know.
And this is maybe just like the theater kid in me of like growing up and seeing different adaptations of different plays and all that stuff. But it's also just like if you're gonna adapt something from one medium to the other, why not have fun? Having a different cast, having like a different interpretation of things, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my take there as well. Of just like it's fun to see different actors interpret the same characters in different ways and see what they pull from that.
For sure. And I'm also the mind of like, yeah, I don't need the same video game actors always portraying the same characters.
Like, I don't need Nolan North to be Nathan Drake. Like I just want Nolan North to just be standing on a random beach. You know what I mean?
Or I want Nolan North to be in other movies. You know what I mean? Like I'm down to see all of these people that we're talking about from the video game space who are incredible at their job just be in movie and TV in general, right? Like I don't think there has to be a boxing in, unless that's where your passion lies or that's where your talent lies. Like I think there are also probably people that are like, yo, I do video games.
I will say this personally, and I do think that all of this is case by case, but my personal take and opinion on it is you should start with the original actor. You should start with them as can we make this work? Should we make this work? And then move on from there. If the answer is no, don't do it. But if the answer is yes, you probably should, because that's part of what made the thing good to begin with.
Yeah.
But if you go through and like, well, they don't have the acting chops, they only have the voice acting chops, then don't do
it's
it.
not a fit.
If you're like, okay, cool, like they got all of it, but they do not look the part, and they cannot look the part, and that's going to be detrimental overall to how important the look of this character is, then don't do it. Like I just feel like it's pretty simple. But
I agree with that.
that's,
Yeah.
Looking at it from a purely creative standpoint and not thinking about scheduling and cost and marketing,
even marketing
and all of that.
I think honestly, I think the biggest thing of it is marketing, right? Like I think it's just way easier to sell top Hollywood talent as opposed to like taking the same person that portrayed the thing. But I agree with you. Is like I think that would be the dream scenario, especially for somebody who we already associate with that role. Like I think for us as video game fans, it just feels cool to be able to go, oh man, they played this person in the game, and now they're getting to play this person in real life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm fascinated to see how that goes as we go into the future, because what somebody also mentions, or I think multiple have mentioned, right, that like sometimes you just don't look the part. But as video games continue to like have this photorealistic thing going on and facial capture and performance capture and all this stuff, a lot of the roles are looking like a lot of the people that are playing the roles nowadays. So I imagine like a decade from now, multiple decades from now, that's probably going to become more and more the norm.
Yep.
Tim, who's the redhead Mandalorian lady?
Katie Sackhoff,
But like the character
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan, like you could do that, right? Where she was cast
Amazing, right?
years ago as the voice, and then they made the character look like her. So then when they adapted it to live action, she looked the part.
Yeah.
I like this question
cool.
from the Lou in chat. Will Norman Reedus be in the Death Stranding movie? 100% yes.
But as a cameo.
I think he has to play the main character.
Why aren't they
You don't
doing,
think
like,
it's just a different story in the universe?
Haven't they said that?
Oh, did they?
I'm pretty sure, but
Well, they've announced like 3 different Death Stranding
That's true.
adaptations.
Did they really?
Yeah, there's the Death Stranding movie, and then I believe there's an anime, and then another anime.
Oh, okay. Anime, yeah.
But I don't think at least one of those is going to star Norman Reedus. But I digress. Story number 4. Rockstar founder lands publisher for his post-Grand Theft Auto sci-fi epic. This is Michael McWhirter at Polygon. Rockstar Games co-founder Dan Houser's new studio has landed a publisher for its first game, which is still untitled but is described by its creators as a AAA open-world sci-fi action-adventure game set in an original universe. Korean publisher Smilegate and Houser's Absurd Ventures announced Wednesday that the two companies have teamed up to release the Rockstar co-founder's first post-GTA video game. Quote, Absurd Ventures was set up to tell new and different kinds of stories, and to create what I hope are interesting and compelling original experiences. This new game is an opportunity to go somewhere entirely different and to take players on an entirely new adventure, Houser said in a new statement. Quote, I'm excited to be going on this journey with the amazing team that we are building here at Absurd Ventures, and I'm grateful that we are partnering with Smilegate, who really understand and support our vision, end quote. Absurd Ventures' sci-fi game is set in its homegrown A Better Paradise universe, which is described thusly on the studio's website. Quote, set in the near future. A Better Paradise tells the story of the ill-fated development of an ambitious but addictive digital game world project led by inventor and psychologist Dr. Mark Tyburn. As the advanced software they developed began delivering unexpected and disturbing results, the team fell apart under strange circumstances, and the project was abandoned. The game world and the superintelligence within were discarded, left dormant, and undiscovered until now. End quote.
And dude,
I feel like
fucking Digimon, dude, come to life.
that's so funny because I read this as them making a game about the other GTA
Mind's Eye.
Mind's Eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you reread this, it
I know.
sounds like they're making a Mind's Eye game.
Yeah, and that's concerning. You know what I mean? We all know how that one.
But this isn't the same
No.
person from Rockstar. You know, this is
No.
a Hauser. You know,
yeah.
But it's so weird how like it feels both self-referential and referential to like what was it called? Everywhere?
Mhm.
Yeah, everywhere. Where you're talking about like, oh, it's the ill-fated development of an ambitious but addictive digital game world.
Mhm.
As the advanced software they developed began delivering unexpected and disturbing results, the team fell apart
I mean,
under strange circumstances.
everywhere has been like a thing that has been, they've tried to sell us for years at this point. So like, I don't know, maybe this is a swing
I'm here
at a
for
former coworker. I'm here for it.
Why not? You know what I mean? I hung out with somebody from Absurd Ventures at the fandom party at Comic-Con.
Oh, snap.
Super nice dude. Yeah, this is it's interesting, right? We'll see where this goes. If
Man.
it turns into a video game at all, or if it's just going to be a better paradise, a podcast world and universe that they kind of build out that interests the people that are into it. But I don't think we'll ever see this game.
No?
No.
Damn. What do they know that we don't know? Because you got multiple parties leaving Rockstar to create universes and games that exist within those universes.
Yeah.
What does that tell you, Tim?
I mean, what that tells me, honestly, no bullshit, is that when you work at a company that's as successful as Rockstar and put out products that you are as proud of as I imagine they are with the past GTA titles, and you have as much asinine amounts of money as they probably do, I do think it kind of hits a point that you're just like, I want to try this thing and I want to do this. And this might not work, but for some people, it doesn't need to because you're just that damn well off.
Yeah.
I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but like, I'm probably not wrong.
Yeah. I'm just so interested.
It's just these
'Cause I
are
read this-
billionaires' art projects, right?
Everything I read about this feels like everywhere in Mind's Eye again. And I wonder, like, I just think it's an interesting like trend of a thing. I hope they're successful. Obviously, we all hope they are successful because I always want cool video games. And if you have a weird and different idea, then yeah, like let me
I mean,
get
we
a
know these
quality
people are
version of that.
talented.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I will say I have more faith in this than I did in Everywhere in Mind's Eye. But I also
I mean, I think so too. This seems like it has the ironic word to use for this, but it has focus.
sure.
Their focus is building an entire universe and it seems ambitious as shit. But it's like, this feels a bit more, we have an idea, as opposed to Everywhere being like, what ideas do y'all have?
Yeah. Oh, it's,
You know,
we'll have a
Roblox is cool. We'll make adult Roblox.
Yeah,
and
we'll-
you make the content for us.
and we'll let the Hitman studio publish it. It's all gonna go real well. Tim,
Oh man, yes.
if a Better Paradise universe hits, that could be big.
It'd be huge.
That'd be gigantic.
Oh, man.
But if I wanted something smaller, say the tiniest news I need to know about, where would I go?
You go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items that you need to know about.
Story number 5 is Wii News, starting from one from This Week in Video Games. Australian independent film company Umbrella has announced a new label, Umbrella Gaming. The publisher's first signing is Pro Jank Footy, a comedy sports game involving talent from comedy group Auntie Donna. You know Auntie Donna.
Oh yeah, dude, I love footy.
Hey, don't make fun of footy,
I'm
all right?
making fun
Because
of
I do
footy.
love footy. I played footy last night. It was a good time.
I hurt my footy.
From Push Square. Wait, is this actual gameplay? Oh, yes, because this
Pro
is
Jank
a...
Footy.
Wait, what is this?
It's fucking
Oh,
footy.
it is the game. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was a random thing. I didn't
No.
I didn't expect the game to look like this.
What'd you think it was gonna look like?
I don't know. Better,
You see
I
the
guess.
DVD video. It's Pro Jank Footy, bless. Are you not listening to the words that you're reading?
You know what?
There's the jank. There's
You know
the
what?
footy. There's the
It's
professionals.
literally a DVD video logo on the fucking
You know
front.
what, fair.
It's hilarious.
You know
Good
what?
for
Fair.
them.
You know what?
It's also from a comedy group.
You know
like,
what?
Come on, man.
I got this game mixed up with a different game that we're going to talk about in Wii News.
God damn it.
I'll get there later. From Push Square, Media Molecules, David Smith, the last co-founder still at the studio, has announced he's leaving the company.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. End of an era.
Super
for
end of an
Media
era.
Molecule there.
very interested in what the future of that company is. From IGN, Genshin Impact discontinues PS4 support due to limitations related to hardware performance and platform application size. From Noble, Xbox Design Lab is back, and The Witcher and the Doom controller will return later this year. Let's go. Hell is Us console demo launches August 12th on Xbox Series and PS5. Barbie Horse Trails launches October 10th on Xbox, PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. The King is Watching, which is the game that Andy was talking about at the start of yesterday's Gamescast, has added a mid-run save feature alongside some balance changes and fixes. And then finally, Nutmeg, a deck-building retro football manager announced from Sumo Digital Sheffield for PC, launches in 2026. This was the game I was thinking of.
Oh, I thought you were thinking of Barbie Horse Trails.
No. Although I'm curious about Barbie Horse Trails. Is this the football manager game?
Yes.
So yeah, this one interested me because about a week or so ago, Mike, he called me over to his computer and he showed me this basketball deck building game, and I was like, oh, cool, that seems fun. And then this was announced, and I was like, this is more my jam. It's a football/soccer card game, guys. Lock in, everybody. It's gonna be a fun time. It's called Nutmeg. And that is it for Wii News. Tim, before we get out of here, let's hop into some super chats. Starting with one from John Van Pelt, who says Trevor from GTA 5 was in The Walking Dead and he was awesome.
Stephen Ogg.
He was also in Better Call Saul. He was great in that too.
Yeah. I feel like GTA that's a cheat code though. Like when it comes to like, okay, yes, an actor from video games breaking out and doing more TV and movies, like,
Well, it was the opposite.
oh, was he in those first and then came to GTA? I thought he was in GTA first.
Well,
What's his name again?
Stephen Ogg.
I mean, he was doing TV stuff.
Was he?
Maybe
Yeah, he
those
was just like an
specific
actor,
things were
yeah.
after, but like, I would not say that GTA got him those gigs.
Gotcha. All right, then I take it back.
Maybe though. Well, like
I feel like
at
GTA
least
put him on the map.
Yeah.
For gamers, I mean,
I mean, I think for
full
most
respect,
people.
full respect to Stephen Ogg. I think he's fucking awesome.
Mhm.
Is he on the map now? Like,
I mean, no, but like,
He
I think he was on the. I think
the amount of work pre 2013 for this is the amount of work post 2013. There's a stark difference
yes.
for sure.
all right.
I think like after GTA 5, we saw him pop up in some like mainstream things, and we would all go, "Oh, that's Trevor from GTA 5."
Yeah.
And I think that's true for most people that would see him and recognize him.
yeah.
I don't know what he was in. I mean, I'm sure he was definitely acting before that, but
He was in an episode of Law and Order, which every actor I think is legally obligated to do. He was in Alone in the Dark, the 2008 game, as Vinny.
video game actor. I bring it back to my first point. He stood, listen, Alone in the Dark. He did it.
Did it.
Sire Theo says the VPR KF podcast with Tim and Joey a few years ago inspired me to get into the show. I just got to hashtag Scandival, and wow, what a wild piece of media. What do these words mean?
Vanderpump Rules, VPR, and Scandival, one of the most insane moments in pop culture history. I can't believe you got there. Welcome. You now understand. You now understand what it was like. I'll never forget the day that it happened.
Yeah.
Joey was in Station 5. She came out, and I looked at it. I was like, Tom Sandoval cheated on Ariana with Raquel.
No.
And it changed everything.
Wow.
And here we are now.
Here we are now.
Congratulations. You made it. You're one of us.
I love when like just a TV show has a standout episode out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a lot of those in season 5.
Yep. This is Scandival's very similar to
And there
season
actually-
5 of Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Actually, there was one in season 1 after post Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I always remember that episode of Agents
Yeah.
of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm sure it was just like Scandival.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Death writes in and says, check out Drop Mix Plus. It's Fuser, but had real cards and could be played as a competitive card game, which it was still supported. I heard a lot about Drop Mix when Fuser came out. I don't know if I'm going to check it out, but thank you for the recommendation. Christopher Atkins says, bring back Guitar Hero themed KFC meals. I don't remember this.
I don't remember it either.
Do you think they were themed after the songs? or just like just Guitar Hero. Get the Guitar Hero number 2.
Yeah.
Get the
I
Guitar
think
Hero
it was
Whopper.
very
Or no, they
lazy.
said KFC. Get the Guitar Hero chicken.
Number 2.
Number 2. Aaron Lime says, exciting niche news update, probably best for Wii News. Platinum Games logo spotted at the MGS Delta pop-up event in NYC. What does that mean?
Huh.
A Platinum Games logo.
Do you
I
think
mean-
they just helped with development on it?
Did
They did.
Platinum did Rising Revenge?
They did do Rising and Revengeance. Yes.
That's irrelevant though. I don't know. That's weird. I'm excited for Delta, man.
I'm excited too. Alex 3GB says Clone Hero is a thing. Will this grab traction?
Clone Hero's a cool thing, allegedly.
Let's see. And then one more from Nolan Massey who says, Tim, nice shirt. K-pop in review. When? Soundtrack fire. I assume they mean K-pop Demon Hunters.
Which is all of K-pop.
I guess that is the
all
full
of
K-pop
K-pop.
That's what they
franchise.
want us to
Yeah.
do. Yeah, thank you. Big fan of the shirt. Got it from the Netflix shop. That's a thing.
Do you have a favorite member of Huntrix?
I mean, Roomy. I'm basic.
Yeah, this
A
guy's
little
basic.
crop top
Come on.
bomber jacket. You kidding me?
Bear, who's your favorite member?
I've only seen it once, so I'm not as familiar with their names. I have real K-pop people names in my head that are taking up space, but the one on the left on Tim's shirt. No, yeah, she was funny.
The fun, little excited one.
Yeah.
Nice. Kindoffunny.com/you're wrong is where you write in. Let us know what we got wrong as we got it wrong so we can correct it for those watching later on YouTube and listening later on podcast services around the globe. I got people writing in from late yesterday diagnosing Tim. I think Tim's found the diagnosis.
I have found the diagnosis. Thank you very much.
Healer of Pains writes in with a lengthy one regarding turtle freezing or brumation. Vet here. Certain species of turtles brumate after the age of 4, a basic mild form of hibernation that lasts 10 to 14 weeks. These turtles are not only required to undergo this process yearly, but also are more prone to illness and shortened lifespans if they do not. These species of turtles require vitamin A supplementation, preparation, and carefully controlled environments prior to brumation, so it's likely your relative's turtle were doomed from the start.
Oh no. Oh man.
I'll have to break the news to that family member 15 years later.
Brad writes in and says, I'll be talking about user and not the... I will be talking about Fuser and not the fact that Harmonix is now owned by Epic. I think they're just saying things. You know what? That's where I'm cutting it off. No, you're wrong. That's it. That's it for you're wrong. You guys lost your privileges today. There's also only one more left and it was long. Tim, that brings us to the end of the episode. Of course, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon and YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. Enjoy the Gamescast next, where we confront Roger about what he did. And the
Are we
stream after.
confronting Roger or is Roger confronting us?
I have no idea what's happening.
Both.
The title of this episode has changed like 10 times. Because it was a Rogstradamus check-in, and then it turned into KF Court, and then it turned into something else. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
We're about to get Roged, everybody. Strap in.
But until next time, Game Daily.